later on. We move on now because we have a new head coach. The Ravens have hired, and they have moved on, as we know, from John Harbaugh, but they're hiring former Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. Minter was with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan and in LA with him the last 2 seasons. He becomes the Ravens' 4th head coach in their 31-year history. Under Minter, during the last 2 seasons, the Chargers allowed the 5th fewest passing yards in the NFL. Pass defense has been an issue for the Ravens the last 2 seasons. Baltimore has allowed the most passing yards per game in the NFL during that span. Okay, so that's all good from the defensive side of the ball, but let's focus on the offense a little bit here, because the big question is, Cam, what does this do for Lamar?
It does great wonders for Lamar, understanding that he has a coach, number one, that comes from this cloth, right? From what I understand, Coach Minter also was a coach under the coaching staff of John Harbaugh at Baltimore, coaching the defensive backs at one particular point. But the thing is this, let's cut to the chase. Anytime a head coach leaves, that's the first move. The second move is the quarterback. Who knows this oh so well? Cam Newton. First, it was Ron Rivera. Then, insert Matt Rule. Oh, I'll give you another one. Aaron Rodgers knows something about this. Why? Mike McCarthy left. Then insert Matt LaFleur. Oh, who else? Matthew Stafford, Matt Patricia. Then insert Dan Campbell. Russell Wilson, Nathaniel Hackett. Insert Sean Payton. And I want to be excited for this for Lamar, because I know this team, outside of all teams, is ready to win yesterday. Today, ASAP. It's an instant team that's primed for the Super Bowl. But understand this, Lamar. The coach was first. You'll be second. That's how this business works, and that's where the trajectory is going if things do not change in Baltimore.
So let me get this clear. What you're saying is they fired a coach, the next fire or the next person gone will be Lamar Jackson.
I'm not saying that, but if certain things do not change, yes.
Here is why that's crazy. Lamar Jackson has been Lamar Jackson no matter who the coach is. The reason that John Harbaugh is gone is because everyone realizes Lamar Jackson's greatness, his skill, his talent, even his ability to lead and galvanize players and the way people gravitate toward him. But they were like, wait, you can't win the championship with Lamar Jackson? You keep falling short with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson isn't performing the way that we want him to perform in the playoffs. And when he does perform the way we want him to perform for 3 quarters against the Buffalo Bills, we still drop the 2-point conversion and we can't win. Oh, you mean to tell me we're going to miss a field goal late in Pittsburgh that puts us in the dance, that gives us an opportunity? The 2 years since Mike McDonald has been gone, we can't get stops on defense. Lamar Jackson ain't going nowhere. If this team doesn't play well in the next 2 years, they'll get another head coach as long as Lamar Jackson is healthy and he can be himself. They went out and they hired, he need to hyphenate his name, Jesse Minter, hyphenated, Harbaugh Jr. Right? Because of what they've seen Mike McDonald go on and do. Mike McDonald comes from this cloth, working for both of the Harbaugh brothers, being at Michigan, working under John Harbaugh, coaching defense at an extremely high level. And what they figured out is if we can get this defense, who didn't perform well under Zach Orr, to play at a high level, that now helps Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson can be who he needs to be under Greg Roman, under Todd Monken. So the most important hire to me is it's not head coach, then quarterback. It's head coach, then offensive coordinator. Who is going to lead Lamar Jackson? Who is going to advise Lamar Jackson? Who is going to help Lamar Jackson be all that he can be? And Eric DeCosta, my eyes are on you. Are you going to get the right players around him on both sides of the football? This team ain't have a pass rush. This team didn't have the skilled players that can win one-on-one outside of Zay Flowers. That's what's important. Lamar ain't going nowhere.
So,
well,
Go ahead.
RC. That's not entirely correct. And you know it. Everything that you've said and you just broke down is 1,000% accurate in terms of Jesse Minter, Harbaugh Jr., all of this other stuff. And, you know, DeCosta, keeping your eyes on him because you're the GM. Listen, if Ozzie Newsome was there, I mean, listen, Ozzie Newsome still, you know. what the job that he did all of those years running the Baltimore Ravens, that's a lot to live up to. We're still waiting for DeCosta to do that. Let's just keep it a buck, all right?
Yep.
But here's the other side to it. You know this, RC, that the players, because all of us have heard about it, the players went to Lamar because they wanted Lamar to reach out to coach. And according to numerous sources in the National Football League, which you know better than me, Harbaugh somewhat dismissed him. You know, I know what I'm doing. I've been around here a long time. And from that point forward, Lamar wasn't the same. You know, and so when you look at it from that standpoint, you hire a guy that's been in Baltimore for 4 years, okay, prior to moving on and then being in Michigan and win national championship on the defensive side of the ball, and then all of a sudden you come out and you go to the Chargers, all right? But you got to have somebody that knows Lamar a little bit, that you got to find that offensive coordinator that's going to make sure he's relatable to Lamar and what have you. But it's also got to be Lamar recognizing the fact that he needs to maximize all of his potential, which for the most part he has done because the guy is sensational and we know that. But we saw a drop-off this year, which I primarily attribute to injury because I think that he wasn't 100% healthy, but his attitude didn't seem the same either. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that Harbaugh is no longer coaching in Baltimore, because I think that they needed a new voice inside that locker room. I think it was clear to ownership. I think it was clear to management. And I think that's why Harbaugh is coaching the Giants instead of the Baltimore Ravens. So the mentor hire is about that every bit as much about everything else that you just said, which I think is inescapable.
So let me clarify something. And in no way, shape, form am I saying that Lamar Jackson is going to lose his opportunity to be the franchise quarterback in Baltimore. What I am saying is let's look at the telescope view in this particular situation. I've never seen a franchise extendo.
Knowing you got about 5 of those.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
So peep it. You have to understand how the business of football works. Teams aren't just going to keep firing head coaches and not looking at the roster to try to make change in that way. Because one of the main principles that coaches will kind of say is, that wasn't my guy. I didn't draft him. That's not who I really wanted. Keon Coleman, for Christ's sake. These are things that everybody gets to point a finger. Lamar Jackson is the most talented quarterback in the NFL with what he can do to attack a defense. He's accurate when needed. And if you play man-to-man, he's going to burn you in ways that you could not even imagine. What I'm also telling you is this. It will be extremely interesting to see who Coach Mentor decides to run that offense, because he's not like a Patrick Mahomes. He's not like Josh Allen. He's not like Joe Burrow. Lamar Jackson is a rather unique talent that has to be nurtured as such. Not to say he's different in philosophical ways, or am I saying that? I am saying it through that lens. You have to understand, play to his strengths. Don't try to recreate what Lamar, the 2-time MVP, has already showed you. You have to build around him, and that's really what it comes down to. Lastly, it comes down to what I said first. First the coach, then the players. That's it.
I just want to say this. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Hall of Fame quarterbacks who didn't win championships. They got new coaches. They didn't get new quarterbacks.
That's true. Lamar Jackson
Jim
needs
Kelly.
some help. Yeah, Lamar Jackson does need some help. He was averaging around 37 points to start the season. When he ended, he was averaging around 22. Clearly, that offense is on a decline. They need help on both sides of the ball there in Baltimore. Coming up here on First Take, Josh Allen is still awaiting his next head coach. Got some shocking news about who could leave